On today's episode of BESHEEK DIY, I will be making this beautiful red Siamese crab anklet. Stay till the end so you can see how I, a professional jewelry maker, was able to recover quickly from a common DIY mishap. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of BESHEEK DIY, where today we will be making our red crystal crab anklet. And so let me go ahead and give you a snapshot of the parts we'll be using. Go ahead and pause and play, make a list for yourself. And so the first thing we're going to need in order to make this beautiful anklet is going to be our nylon string here, and this is black nylon coated stainless steel wire string. Very durable, lightweight, it can resist rust, and it can make sure to be sweat proof as well, because we are wearing our jewelry on our body. So the first thing we're going to want to do is get our 3mm silver ball, okay, and string it on just like that. And our work order calls for 34 of these 3mm crystal rondelles, but I know that should be divided in half because half of it will go on one side of the anklet and half of it will go on the other side. So we'll just go ahead and string on 17 of these. So now that we have 17 of these strung on, our next bead is going to be another 3mm silver ball, followed by a silver daisy and 3 of our 6mm red rondelles. And if you look, these rondelles have a very shimmery coat on them. That's called an AB coat, or Aurora Borealis coat, which gives it a beautiful kind of rainbow iridescent, kind of like when oil spills on water, a rainbow shine to it. And now we're going to follow that with a daisy, 3mm ball, and another daisy, again with 3 more of these 6mm rondelles. Like so, okay. And now we're gonna get our rhinestone. See that? Our rhinestone wheels, super cute. A little more bling to the anklet. And then another 3 of our 6mm. A rondelle. 3 more of our 6mm. Go ahead and get our bail, which is going to be holding our crab on it. Go ahead and get 3 more rondelles, and we just repeat the pattern again, but in reverse. So 3 rondelles, stone wheel, 3 more rondelles, another wheel, 3 more rondelles, the silver ball, daisy, 3 6mm rondelles, a daisy, and a 3mm ball. And now we can go in lightning speed mode and string on 17 of these 3mm. So lightning mode. There we go, and there's 17. So the only thing we need to top this off with is our 3mm silver ball, and our anklet has been strung up. Take a look at it. And isn't she pretty? So now all we have to do is go ahead and close these ends off. And so in order to do that, what we will need is a crimp bead. And for this end, I'm going to put our lobster claw clasp, which I always double check to make sure that the clasp is functional, as you can see here. And then go ahead and string on that clasp. And then we just go ahead and fold that string over, restring our crimp bead onto both the tail and the main string. Get our flat nose pliers. Go ahead and crimp down on that bead like so. And then restring the beads onto the tail and the main string to hide that tail string. And so some people ask, well, why don't you just cut it off? Well, if you cut off the tail string too early in your anklet, you have a risk of it sticking out and scratching your ankle. And that's why I like to just keep it a little bit longer and just restring the other beads on top of it. So that way we don't have to worry about this thing sneaking out and scratching some ankles. And now go ahead and get the other beads to join that side. Cut off a length of string. And if you notice, I did not cut the string off until I strung all my beads. This way it helps me not waste string, because you're only really cutting off what you need. And now we just need to repeat on the other side. And so to repeat on the other side is a crimp bead, but on this side we are going to attach our extender chain right here. And our extender chain is attached to a split ring. A split ring is just a mini keychain, more or less. It's just a wire coiled around. And some people wonder, well, what's the difference between using just a regular jump ring and a split ring? For me, it's added security. I don't have to worry about my jump ring coming loose and the string coming out of my jump ring and then effectively ruining the anklet where the customer is not able to wear the anklet any longer. So it's just added security. So here comes the tricky part. We have a gap and we need to close the gap. If I were to crimp down right now on that bead, you're going to be left with this inch gap over here. And so the way you close this down is you're going to go ahead and get your round nose pliers, insert it into the loop here, crimp down on that. You see, and now all you have to do is just focus on getting that tail string right here. Let loose a little bit on your round nose plier and pull. You pull on that tail string to go ahead and tighten things up again. So go ahead and crimp down on that one end over there and pull again, just to make sure that we've got a closed gap. You see, there's just a normal gap over here now. So the only other thing left to do is to crimp down, just like that. And then last but not least, go ahead and cut this tail string off. Just like, let's see, like that. There we go. So actually guys, I was gonna edit this out, but I'm just gonna show you mistakes like that happen where you didn't crimp down secure enough and your finished product came undone. And so right now I'm showing you how you can save your product or your jewelry without having to redo everything over again. And so if you see, I'm just restringing this whole thing here. You have to restring it back again, but I don't have to worry about the pattern, picking up the patterns. I have another string from the roll and I am inserting that on the anklet that's already been beaded, as you can see. And it's just gonna move on to my new roll, my new string. It saves time. So you can see it's maybe taking me literally a minute to do this. Now these 3mm, the hole on these are quite small, so I won't be able to pass 2 strings at the same time since it's a smaller hole. So what I'm gonna do is just take them off the string and restring them. But you see how I've grabbed them into my fingers in the same position they already were, which helps with just restringing them all at the same time. Okay, a few of them fell during me restringing, so I'll need to recount again to make sure there's 17 on there. Let me go ahead and do that right now. Let's see, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yep, 4 of them fell. So let me go ahead and get these 4 back on. There we go. And here we go. Not too bad, not too bad of a loss. So let me go ahead and close up one side and then close up the other. Make sure I do it securely this time. Okay. And flip it, extra security. Go ahead and restring and get the other beads to meet up. Let's go ahead and cut a length of string here. And went and got another clasp too. Let's make sure that clasp works. Okay, let's do this again. And then we'll go ahead and string on the clasp, fold it over. Put a few beads restrung on to hide that tail string. Go ahead and crimp down. Get a hold of our tail string here and let's pull. All right, a little bit more. Let's pull it a little bit tighter. There we go. Now let's go ahead and crimp down on that again. All right, so crimp, 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 flip it, crimp, 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 crimp. So we don't want the same thing happening again. Let's cut off that tail. And there we go. It's on there secure now, you see? And now we've got a semi-finished anklet because we need our charm. So let's go ahead and clasp it so you guys can see. Move the beads out the way here so you can see the anklet minus the charm. All right, here's our charm. Cute little Mr. Krabs. Okay. Let's open up our jump ring. Like that. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Krabs and our anklet and close it on up. There we go. And here's our anklet. Isn't she gorgeous? Well guys, I hope you had a great time making this with me like I did with you, and you got to see what happens. You know, even the professionals have little hiccups here and there with their anklet. So you guys were able to see how I was able to recover from a little mishap quickly and without costing me too much time and effort. All right guys, we are building our community, so please feel free to like, share, subscribe, tick the bell so that way you'll get notifications when I come out with other anklet tutorials. And as always, be chic, be happy, and be inspired. Thanks guys. Love you. Bye.